Oh, gesundheit to myself. Bear with me on a few more moments, and then the magic will happen. Is this a stream? Yes, it's a stream. I'm starting soon. The stream hasn't started yet. It hasn't quite started. So you just need to hold your horses there, Buckaroo. And tell all your friends about it while you're at it. I'm trying to fix my light.
Yo, what's going on? This is Marty, and you're listening to Marty for President Radio. I hope you're enjoying yourself. Stay locked in. We're going to have more exclusives and fun stuff coming up very shortly. And I just want to congratulate you on being so amazing. You're an awesome person. Congratulations.
Oh. that's Bear Geo's only response is oh. I opened my door, so if my cat comes in to disrupt things, then they're free to do so. Okay. I'm just going to share my good old link around. Sharing the good old link, the good old gospel of Perry's Hotter's Twitch. I'm gonna be just sharing it with on some Discords I'm in, and then lastly to my Snapchat and Instagram. So just bear with me in this. I'm sharing some links around. I'm about to start soon. You'll see me drawing some manga. Inking my manga cold-blooded. Yes, sir. You can count on it. Nice, thank you. I've shared to all my Discords, some of which you're in, Bergio, and know which ones I'm talking about. But now I'm going to share one to my my Snapchat, which will also have a link on my to my Twitch. So people can find me easy peasy lemon squeezy. Oh, this is going to be a very easy page to draw that I'm seeing right here that I know you cannot see right now, but alright, I shared it to my story on Snapchat. Now I'm sharing it to my story on Instagram, which you can find me at Perry's Hotter. That is PERRYS _ Hotter, HOTTER. Alright, posting my stories. And I forget, I'm also going to share it to my Facebook real quick. And share it to my Facebook page. Okay, it is all shared and everything. I'm ready to start. I am Perry's Hotter, your friendly neighborhood mangaka in the making. Mangaka just meaning Japanese for comic book artist. It is 6:51 in the morning. I just got off night shift at 5 a.m., but I'm feeling awake and chipper as ever. I don't know why. And I'm sitting here sipping on a Dr. Pepper Zero. I probably shouldn't be drinking this because of caffeine, but I already feel awake, so I'm in a good mood. I'm going to be working on this page here, as you can see. And it's going to be quite an easy page, so I'm most definitely going to finish. Let me pull up my sleeves here. Things might get messy. It's going to be pretty easy. As you see, this first panel is blank. That's because it's an establishing shot, and I'm just going to reuse art for it. I've pretty much drawn everything, but that's right. I'm cutting corners. I'm so ashamed. Don't look at me. But I'm just going to be reusing art, at least this one time. Usually I would only reuse art for like flashbacks, but in this case, I'm going to use it for the whatever this establishing shot is, because it's just a house. And it's like, I don't want to draw it again. I want to hurry up and finish Volume 2, which I have a Kickstarter for. So keep your eyes peeled for when that link drops in the chat, because it will drop. It's on a time. After so many lines. No, not those kinds of lines. Chat lines. And
This is great music
just
for when
getting
you leave your
everything
dog
ready. I'm screwing
in the
this
room
and
and you want to just put something
my
on
old
so
ink.
your dog feels like
There's
someone
not a
else.
lot
If
of
there's a
room on this
presence in the
table.
room, this is
This
perfect
drawing
for that.
space is like all the drawing space I have in this area that you can see. Yeah, it's not good, but I really could use a bigger drawing table, kind of like Sergio's got at his house. Man, like he's got it made. I need a drawing table like that. Although I don't know that I really have the room for it in my room. Maybe if I move somewhere, I'll have to upgrade and get a table that big. But until then, I'll settle for this. It also probably helped was a bit more organized because I got like a switch controller here. Are you telling me to move that? But no, I mostly got manga pages and other stuff related to that on this side, and I got art supplies stuff on this side. There's just not enough room on this table for all this amazingness. Another thing, just if they're probably not watching, I happen to get 2 followers in between my last stream and this, and I don't know where they came from because I didn't get any email notifications about being followed. And when I look here on Streamlabs and on my Twitch, the last follower I got was from my last stream. And after that stream, it even says on my what's the thing that it sends? I always forget. It said I was at 45 followers, right? On my stream report. Let me look on my phone real quick. My stream summary, right? On my last stream summary, I gained 1 follower and that put me at 45 followers. So since then, I gained 2 more followers. I have no idea who they are, but if they're watching, thank you. Thank you for following. But I just think it's very bizarre. Like, it's just really weird. Unless they have, like, their account set to private where it doesn't notify, who they're following. But I've never heard of that, but maybe it's a thing that just most people don't have enabled. Before I draw, I'm going to put on a little YouTube video to listen to. But my cats are making noise somewhere in the house. I know just one cat is. I know which cat that is. But I'll be looking at the chat every once in a while. May not always respond right away because I'll be preoccupied with this. I'll stream at least for maybe like an hour. Probably shouldn't be more than that. Ah, shit. I'm waking the doggo. You mean walking the doggo right now? Is the cat out? Um, no cat. They moved. Really? They moved? So they took the cat with them?
And I'm just letting you know that Marty for President Radio has my complete and full
That's sad.
co-sign. And enjoy this gift thou has given you. I'm just kidding. It's Marty. I'm sorry, God.
Yes, they moved. Yeah. Don't sound too torn up about it. I need to finish the watercolor drawing I was working on. Oh yeah? Are you gonna finish it today? Yes, I'll probably finish it today. That's good. When you gonna work on it? Right now? At the same time while I'm drawing? And streaming? Or after work? Hey, what you doing, Blair JTV? Why do you have your hood on? Because I feel like it, that's why. And I checked because I worked last night and I didn't want to wear my uniform on stream. So instead of just changing to a shirt, I just put a hoodie on. That's why. I had trouble sleeping last night. How?
And I don't know, enjoy it. What do you
BDBF trouble getting up? It's Blair, dorks. And Mega Bro. Who are dorks? Oh, we have a visitor. Hey, Sergio. No, Siri. No, I'm not. I don't want to know anything about Sergio. Dang, the chat's bumping this morning. See, Mega Bro, you said that this was too early. Blair, what were you trying to say? BDBF trouble getting up? Who is a dork? LOL. I don't. Mega Bro, he said dorks like plural, so he's calling multiple people, everyone here. So he's including himself. He's also calling himself a dork when he says that. FYI. Oh God, yes. Dang. Have trouble getting up. Okay. So, nothing like a morning stream to help you get up in the morning, am I right? Are you still laying in bed? Even though, like, waking up and staring at your phone is probably the worst thing you can do, I have had, though, at least that, like, wakes me up, because then it keeps me from going back to sleep. That's the only positive from that. One time I streamed in the morning and then immediately crashed after. When's Guilty Gear?
This is Marty from Marty for President.
I have no idea.
I just want to let you know I love you and thank you for supporting.
Well, Blair, at least you didn't crash during the stream. That's good. That will be people watch you sleeping all night long. That's probably happened to someone somewhere. No, I'm getting dressed now. I have to leave for work soon. That's good. That's good, Blair. You're a working man. Sleepy Blair stream. So, Mega Bro, I have a question. I gained 2 followers between my last stream and today, but I never got any emails or notifications about it. And when I looked back, my last follower was from my last stream. And after my last stream, I had 45 followers. So I'm wondering, they were probably bots? Okay, well, if they're bots, then why would they still be counted? Because right before I streamed this morning, I was at 47 followers. Is there some kind of setting on Twitch that people can set who they follow to private? So could, like, 2 people have followed me, but I just don't know who they were because of, like, some privacy setting? Hey, if it helps me reach affiliate, some bots count, but then they just disappear. I used to get that a lot. Oh wow. Well, I've never got that. This is the first for me. So maybe Twitch has really improved that, although they probably haven't. Okay, I think I whited out everything I need to white out. All I need to do is fill in blacks. I hate fighting Bridget. He can take his ass back to XRED. I don't need another degenerate zoner. Guilty Gear, yeah, Blair plays that. Wait a minute. Or is that a different game I'm thinking of? Who is Bridget? It's a character in a fighting game. Blair knows. And Guilty Gear, I'm presuming. Unless you're talking about a person, a player, but I don't think you are. I'm just realized I'm not looking at the multi-stream. That's not good. I need to look at the multi-stream. Well, how is Blair? How is he? I don't know. He's getting ready for work, Sergio. That's how he is. He hates his life just like everyone else. But Sergio, what else? Oh no. Bergio loves Blair. I sure do. Dang, lol. That's right. I'm afraid to even bring this up because I feel like I already know what Mega Bros' response is going to be, but do you watch Rick and Morty or have been seeing the new season? Or if you're listening, Blair, have you seen the new episode? I just watched episode 2 of season 6 last night. I don't watch Rick and Morty. I'm not a fan of Justin Roiland's humor. Dan Harmon is fine though. Really like Community. Harmon Quest is alright. You know, I never watched Harmon Quest, but that looked funny. Like when I saw the advertisements for it. I mean, if you watch Rick and Morty, it wouldn't be just Justin Roiland's humor. It'd be his and Dan Harmon. It's not bad at all. I mean, I didn't think it was. It looked good. It looked funny. I didn't watch Community. I mean, I don't know. I don't really think that'd be my thing. You know, I don't know. It kind of reminded. It looked like it kind of reminded me of The Office. Like I didn't watch an episode, but just based on like clips. But no, not Rick and Morty. Oh, that's very sad. Of course, Rick and Morty has more than just humor going for it. Like, I actually do care about the plot with like Evil Morty. And like season 1 episode, like last season ended on a big episode with or the last 2 episodes did with Evil Morty, and then the season 1 premieres the season 6 episode 1. Oh, you watched 2 seasons? Just not bad. Well, at least you gave it a chance. At least you gave it a chance. I was about to say, I thought you just wrote it off and never seen it. But if you watched it and you couldn't get into it, at least you gave it a shot. It's nothing like The Office. Yeah, Community. Alright. Yeah, I like Rick and Morty from season 1. Some people think like Rick and Morty has gone downhill since season 1. I don't necessarily think that. I give everything a chance. Anything I dislike because I've tried it and like, well, that's good. That's good. Not everyone's like that. Some people write things off very early or very unfairly. Yeah, but like and I liked the season premiere of season 6 episode 1 because it gave some more answers on Rick's backstory and stuff, and there's some cool things plot wise that happened. It didn't really have anything like it didn't have Evil Morty in it, but it didn't really need it. And then this last episode, of course, it wasn't as good as the season premiere, but it was more of a kind of what's it called? I even gave One Piece a chance. I watched all the way to the one where they're fighting the fat lady on island, so people wouldn't tell me. Just a few hundred more episodes, and it gets really good. I swear to God, that never happened. Well, you watched all the way to Whole Cake Island. That's crazy. That's a lot of One Piece. I can't say I feel the same. I liked One Piece from episode 1, and JoJo's. I had to do that with JoJo's. I did not actually like JoJo's from part 1, from the beginning. Even part 2. I didn't care for part 2 either. It was only part 3, and only towards like halfway of part 3, I actually started to care. And that's when I actually became a JoJo's fan. But I went on the promise that it gets better, it gets better. Oh yeah, no one needs to watch part 1. I saw the title of one of your streams saying something like that you don't need to watch part 1. And I don't know, like, it seems like that seems to be a pretty grave sin to part skip among the JoJo community. That's a hot take for a JoJo's fan. Yeah, it is. That's what I'm saying. Because I hear, like, JoJo's fans, like, that's like sacrilege to skip parts. But the thing is, the whole reason Araki did it in parts is he wanted someone to jump on from any of the parts. So it's not necessarily wrong to watch it that way. The completionist in me wants to watch something from the beginning to the end and not skip around. Yep, every part is pretty self-contained. Yeah, exactly. But if anything, I would recommend someone. If someone, I would maybe suggest someone to start on a different part, but at least go back and watch part 1, like after the fact, but not as a jumping on point. Maybe start at like part 3 or part 4. You can just hop into part 4, not know anything. I'll get the good deal. If anything, you would be more in the shoes of Josuke and not JoJo, making you close to Pro Tag. Yeah, so I love part 4 is actually my favorite, and I might actually recommend. The only reason I didn't say like I would recommend part 4 to someone or part 3 is because part 3 seems like really iconic, because that's where a lot of memes come from, and that's when the whole "oh, you're approaching me." That's the only reason I might recommend part 3 to someone over part 4. But I think part 4 honestly is really solid from beginning to end. It's like really fun. Part 3 is where the actual anime community came in. Right, because that's when things really got good, I think. And like, that's probably where a lot of memes came from, and, you know, purported JoJo to more popularity. But honestly, I think like reading the manga is better than watching the anime, at least in part 1. Seeing the magic, but I also need to watch it dubbed because it's canon. Hey, it's Beaver. Hi, Mega. And watch it dubbed. Wait, you need to watch it English dub because it's Perry? Good morning, Perry. Hey, good morning, Beaver. How are you doing? It's bumping in the chat this morning. Eating and hydrating before run. That's good. Is that your secret to losing weight? I gonna do yoga and yoga. That's right. You mentioned yoga. That's yoga and vegan, or vegan diet, or vegan-like diet. Oh yes, I run. I hate running. I mean, I don't hate it, but when I do it, like my back will start to hurt after a while. It's like I don't really understand. If my back didn't hurt, I'd probably like running more. I also quit drinking. Dang, sad. No, that's probably good. You need to stretch. Yeah, stretching's good. I always do some kind of, it's not necessarily stretching, but I always do some sort of warm-up exercise before weightlifting. because you never want to just go into it like blind. Because it gets you more limber and blood flowing. So I imagine stretching does much of the same thing for you. Yeah, because like I've worked out without warming up first, and you can tell a difference. It is worse, but it's good for body to do. But it is good for body to do stretching as a workout. Yeah, I guess, I mean, that's what yoga is, right? It's stretching as a workout. I stretch other things as well. Okay, well, we don't need to know about that, Bear Jeer. You need to go to, like, r kinks on Reddit or whatever it is about that. Basically, like an hour stretching. Oh, well, yeah, I guess if it's an hour, actual stretching before a traditional workout is not harmful for you if you follow medical journals. But it is yoga also builds strength. I don't know what actual stretching before a traditional workout. Well, I don't stretch before workouts. I just do some warm-ups. Mostly pretty much for my shoulders, for my rotator cuffs. If it's upper body, I'm doing warm-ups for my rotator cuffs, and it helps a lot.
Just put something on so your dog feels like someone else, like there's a presence in the room. This is perfect for that. Yo, what's going on? This is Marty from Marty for President Radio, and I just want to let you know I love you and thank you for supporting the crazy ideas that I have. And I hope
yoga improves strength, power, endurance. Yeah, awesome. As well as flexibility. So, Mega, are those medical journals wrong or right? Because it sounds like you're casting some doubt on them, but I'm not sure. You may have been serious. White people yoga does. Actual yoga brings you closer to the Dharma. So does Beaver do white people yoga, or does he do real yoga? He doesn't do religious yoga. So he does... yeah, I do white people yoga. He just came out in a minute. Dang. I could get closer to the Dharma. Oh, yeah? I don't even know what all that's about, but... I probably could have drawn these sound effects bigger. They don't quite fill up the panel, but I could just enlarge them in Photoshop because I'm going to scan this. You could. I could teach you a bit of what I learned, but I don't know the Bhagavad Gita too well. My mind proliferates too much right now. I stress as well. Feels good. The Yoga Warrior. Well, Beaver, the only problem is... I'm Christian, so it might be blasphemous for me to get to the Dharma or whatever. It might be blasphemous for me. All religions are the same, though, to outsiders. That's a very what's the movie called? What's that movie called? Where he's on a boat? Something pie? My minor is in religious studies. Oh, really? That's cool. Yeah, I don't necessarily agree with all religions are the same, but that's a very whatever that movie is called answer. That's a good movie. I don't agree with its message, but I mean it did a very good job at conveying its message. I can't remember that movie. The Life of Pi. Yes, The Life of Pi. this page is pretty much done. If you're wondering why this panel is blank, it's because I'm gonna reuse some art. It's just a establishing shot of this guy's house, which is my house in reality. So I'm just gonna put it here in Photoshop afterwards. So this page is pretty much done. It's a very easy page. This is probably the easiest page in this whole book. In this whole chapter, not the whole book. I'd have to seriously look over all the pages to really determine that. Okay, this page is going to be a lot more work. Like, there are different paths, but they all have the same goal, no? It was, read, mans are very nice and will feed your dinner time. Either that or I went doing like Ramadan and made it to the East. And no, our religions do not have the same goal. Some, not all. Similar. I would say them and even if they have the same goal, that doesn't necessarily mean that they're the same, but like because yoga and it's time to make a religion tier list. Oh no. That sounds like a very bad controversial idea. Sounds like it. Just change by stream and start putting the tier list together in Photoshop. You probably wouldn't like my tier list, Beaver, but alright. I'm not going to freehand this. I'm going to use a ruler for this door frame. The secret is that they're all low tier, most. Oh. Okay, that's funny. That's like a take I would expect from Mega Bro to say something like that. Who do you think the person who conditioned Mega? Oh, you conditioned him? I'm Catholic. I think you mean the people, the way the practice is low tier. I think you mean the people and the way they practice low tier. Organized religion is awful. Well, religion is an organization, though, is a thing. But, I'm the original. No. Mega Bro's denying it, of course. Well, who's older? Whoever's older is who conditioned the other. That's what we're going by. I don't know. I even have a hard time. Oh, well, I'm just being a douche. You can have religion without the organizational context. You don't need to follow the structures. They're mostly man-made. So yeah, that's like the difference between religion and faith, right? Like, but where people mess up is when they say stuff like, oh, I don't need to go to church to be Christian, but then it's like, but Christians go to church, so if you're not Christian, if you're Christian, you should be going to church. I hate organized religion. Yeah, I like to practice religion without organized. But religion is an organization, though, is the thing. Like you can't have it without some level of organization. If you're Christian, you should go to a house of worship. There's also a very specific line where any place with a group of 5 or more praising my name is my own. Okay, so yeah, you're talking about it's anyone that are gathered 2 or more in my name, 2 or more. So like, yes, the church is the people, right? It's not the building. I understand that. The congregation, the people are the church. The church building is just where the people choose to congregate. Because, before Christianity was ever accepted by any government, people just met in their homes and had church, right? Because the church is just where the people are at. Yes and no, it's an iffy topic. Exactly, you don't need the churches, the preachers, the pastors, the cardinals, the rituals. You can do it all with just your family if you're all believers, because that's how it used to be practiced before the European Christians had to make it work. So like, there are things in Catholicism. There's like a lot of tradition that I don't like. I believe is necessary. As far as pastors, I don't have scripture to back this up, like off the top of my head. I do think like pastors are biblical, and even Jesus had. If you think like Jesus is at the top, he had the apostles. They were religious leaders. They were missionaries. They went and built churches. So they started places of worship. Now that's something I can get down with. I do not like to feel forced to rejoice huge groups of strangers. Yes, you do. You just call them raves. Sorry, I meant religiously, but I see what you mean. There's a door frame here. I'm just going to draw this door frame, get this out the way.
Just like that.
Sorry, raves are my religious. Yeah. Is it a god in your life, Beaver? If it's a god in your life, then it's sin. If it's not, though, you're good. I think this panel here. you're wondering why I'm rolling toilet paper on this, is just to dry this ink real quick. Yes, there are missionaries to spread the word, but if you already have the word, you are not needed a missionary. You're part of the flock. In fact, the only reason you guys go to church every week is because keep the Sabbath holy was a line, and they took that as worship on this day or day, and there was a time if you weren't in church to listen, you got killed. That's kind of not the message, at least not my interpretation. Honor the Sabbath to keep it holy. That was to take it as a day off and chillax. One of the commandments. And Seventh-day Adventists think that Saturday is the Sabbath, but I don't know. Seventh-day Adventists are different, though. And it just became ingrained in their religion. But old kings and religious leaders took that as go church or die, and just became ingrained to the religion. Oh, and no, I guess rapes are not my religion. Okay, that's good. His religion is soft anime girls, specifically the robot form Chobits. his religion is furries. Chobits. I'm afraid to ask what that is. No. Man, I'm like losing my train of thought here. Specifically the robot from Chobits. It should be the Emperor Man. This is not the pen I need. This is the pen I need. That's a Warhammer reference, but no one here's nerdy enough to get that but me. Yeah, I'm sorry, bud. I'll just pretend like I know next time. Oh yeah, I get that. I get that reference, yeah. Bro, look at this door frame. Isn't this beautiful door frame? This is also my door frame, by the way, to my house that I'm drawing. That's what it's based on. That was my reference. Gosh, I'm doing this without a ruler. Will it look good? Will it look good? Yes. Yes, it will. Will look good. Will. Okay, yeah, that's pretty good. Oh, I need to draw this. I would zoom in on my camera, but every time I do that and I turn the page, you can't see what I'm drawing. So I just stopped doing that. So, TLDR in Warhammer, there's a God Emperor, too long, Emperor who the humans all worship, but he doesn't want to be worshipped, or so he said. But at the moment, he's basically a head in a bed on the Ogladen throne, and no one really knows if he's alone. Dang, that's pretty crazy. That almost makes me think of something from One Piece. Warhammer lore is as dumb as JoJo's, but it would take actual hours. I mean, is JoJo's lore all that dumb? But I assume you're mostly referring to like the reset that happens. Yes. Yes, it is. Yeah, but everything before the reset, is it dumb? I mean... Yes. Okay, it's all dumb. The hormone, you breathe and you become the sun. Well, it's just a breathing technique. It's no different than like Demon Slayer or any other anime where they learn a martial arts and they can do all kinds of crazy things. It's just what I think is dumb about hormone is like it's not very easy to understand. They over explain it. It's dumb. It's dumb because they over explain it and it doesn't make any sense. Oof, spoilers. Blair, nothing was spoiled. It's okay. I got to go. No, Blair, don't go. Just nothing was spoiled. You didn't hear anything. They have spicy Mexican vampires and monks that were captured by Nazis. Well, actually, I think the Pillar Men are pretty cool. Because, see, JoJo's, it's a mix of a lot of things. It's a mix of flamboyantly dressed men, bodily jokes, gay jokes, and bodily fluids jokes, and horror. And if you notice, almost every part has some kind of horror villain, or a villain with a stand that is very horrific. So, like, part 1 is vampires and zombies. Part 2 is the Pillar Men, who are supposed to be like a vampire but better, right? They're a made-up monster. They're a monster. The joke is pretending not to be gay if you're a JoJo's fan. Right, so like we have the Pillar Men, and they're like the horror monster, right? They created the stone mask to create vampires, right? So like they're more stronger, more powerful than Dio was in part 1. I have this theory that JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is just a giant game of pretend with family autistic people. I'd believe it, Beaver. Action, gore, sensuality. Sensuality. I mean, there's that too. I don't know about the sensuality. I'm not sure what you mean by that. But, and then part 3 is just a return to vampires, right? But there's still horror element. And then part 4, we get a serial killer, right? Or more realistic horror, but still horror nonetheless. If you look at the part 2 poses and tell me it's not sensual. Part 5, there's not really like a horror villain per se, but it's more like there are definitely characters with stands that are very like very terrifying, and I think that's where the horror is in Part 5. Part 6, I haven't seen it. Like, I haven't read it all. I haven't seen it all, but I'm just gonna assume it's gonna be much the same, and from this point forward, this is starting to sound subjective. You mean sound subjective? You look at Part 2 poses and tell me it's not sensual. I'm gonna have to look up the definition of sensual. I feel like I'm not saying that right. Part 6 is the black guy. Oh yeah, that's really scary. The mob aspect is the horror Part 5. I mean, Part 7 is President, Part 8 is the Doctor. But what do their stands do? Are their stands scary? Are they terrifying? Because there's nothing inherently like scary or associated with horror, such as being a president or like being a doctor. But I suspect there's still like there has to be some sort of horror element in those parts, because there just is in every JoJo part. I would be surprised if there wasn't. I said that because the horror aspect doesn't track for me. We play JoJo's. You've seen their stands. We play JoJo's. There is horror from anything, so I could believe it because the president could represent the horror false government, and then everyone's scared of the doctor, and also people who are afraid of religion, especially priests. That's a stretch. That's not horror. Is like atmosphere. Like in Part 4, I would not say like the horror is not like the mafia. The horror is in the stands. Like they go to that house, and then there's that cup. No, that was in Part 4. But in Part 5, that dude has that terrifying stand where he like grows his mold across that whole town. To me, that's like frighteningly. That's like because the president is actually the best president you could ever have. Funny Valentine's, right? But King Johnny just wants to walk, so everyone. Part 6 is a jail, so that's pretty horrifying. Like. Y'all starting to miss the point. Like, honestly, from what I've seen of Part 6, now I haven't seen the rest of the new season that's dropped. I haven't really seen a whole lot of horror in Part 6. Like, I really anything. Like, I haven't seen anything that I would call horror or has inspired horror in me. I get that you mean traditional horror elements, but I don't see that outside of Parts 1 and arguably 2. Where's the horror in Part 3? I would say that there probably isn't horror in Part 3, but just the fact that it's a reused horror villain like a vampire. It's more just like they're using a typical horror villain. I guess what we're getting at is that after the 5th part, the creator of JoJo's wanted to start thinking outside the box of just a regular horror. Yeah, horror is like atmosphere. It's not always just the monster or traditional horror. Right? It's JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and bizarre things happen, right? That don't make any sense, or not, at least until it's explained. So something really bizarre happens, and it's kind of terrifying. It's like, why is this happening? And then you find out the truth. And not in every case, not every bizarre thing that happens is like horror. That's not what I'm saying. But at certain points, I've spent forever on this panel. That's okay. I need to take my time to make it look good. Where's the horror in part 3? He said that because Dio is a vampire, kind of. Yeah, like, there's really not... Okay, you know what? You know where there is horror in part 3? The right-hand man of Dio, the dude that swallows, his stand swallows him, that is terrifying. But nothing else really inspires horror all that much in part 3. It's just a horror villain, a vampire. I argue it's more the genre changes in every part. Fist of North Star, Joestar, Indiana JoJo, and the friendliest Nazi, worst road trip ever. David Bowie, murder mystery. Drugs are bad. Florida man doesn't know how weather works. And other Florida man hates time horse race with Jesus and the presidential David Bowie murder mystery. Vanilla Ice. Yes, that was his name, Blair. Oh. This is making me think of something. Don't forget. I need to take a sip. This is... Oh, Fist of North Star. So, I've been reading Fist of North Star. It just now it's been getting an official translation, so it's still coming out. Much like JoJo Part 5. And I've read up to the 5th book. And the next will be the 6th volume. It's a hardcover. And when I read Fist of North Star, I think Fist of North Star is great. And it's like, this is going to be a hot take from a JoJo's fans. It's like JoJo's, but better. Like, that's what I thought when I read it. It's like, wow, it's like Araki's art, but like with the actual artist background. It sounds kind of messed up because Araki, he didn't have a lot of schooling in art. And he was self-taught. And I think it kind of shows, in particular, with some of the poses he does. But when I read Fist of the North Star, it was like, whoa, these drawings are on point. But that's because JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is a parody of Fist of North Star. Part 1 was literally made to emulate Fist of North Star. Yeah. Jonathan was very much inspired by Kenshiro. I get that. Because manga artists do have fads and they sometimes imitate each other. To do like what's popular. Like, oh, this is getting popular in a magazine, so I'm going to do this. Also, manga artists are inspired more than just from stuff in Japan. They're inspired by like American movies. So like Fist of North Star, inspired by Mad Max and like Rambo movies in the 80s. Right? That was the thing. So it may have been less of emulating Fist of North Star and emulating those movies. Well, not. Well, in JoJo's case, it was taken from Fist of North Star, but Fist of North Star was taking inspiration from like Mad Max and Rambo, those 80s action movies. I'll see you boys later. I can't type. I'll see you. Are you driving? Oh, yeah, you are. I'm about to start drinking and driving. Oh, God. Drinking water, right? I'll see you later, Way. But, what was I going to say? Oh, and it's funny because, and when I say Mad Max, no, not Furiosa Road that came out in like a few years ago. I'm talking about the first Mad Max, which Blair didn't know. Blair and like Technic and Clue, I believe it was those three, all thought Furiosa Road was the first Mad Max. They didn't know that there's 3 previous movies, which is hilarious and also sad. I'm not a fan of the first Fist of the North Star, but I respect it and what it did. So, like, I don't know how far you got into it if you watched the anime, and I don't know how the anime is. Who would be that dumb to not know the Mel Gibson movies? Well, there's 3 people on Discord when we were playing Jackbox TV that didn't know. I made a clip of it, actually, and I shared it, so I don't know if you watched the clip or not. But, yeah, I actually made a clip of that. So I have proof that Blair and Technic included no. My Snapchat's blown up in a Snapchat group that I was added to against my will, but I stay in it because it's entertaining. Promise I'm about to start drawing some more of it. Maybe I could zoom in a little bit. And I don't know how far I've gotten. I blocked out most of what I saw, I guess. So when I read the first volume, covers the first arc and some of the next arc. I assume I don't like it. It's just so unmemorable to me. So Fist of the North Star, for one thing, wasn't what I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be, Kenshiro was going to be like a Saitama type of character where every villain he easily defeats, because in all the clips I saw that. And for the most part, most villains he does easily defeat, but that's not always the case. And he can get hurt. Like, he does get hurt. He does. He's not like as powerful as I thought he was. And there are also even situations where maybe someone dies, right? And it spurs him on to beat the villain. So he wasn't so powerful as to prevent that person dying. But the first arc basically covers part of Kenshiro's origin, which is like the most vanilla. I kind of liken it to like part 1s of JoJo, but it's still better. Like, it's still more interesting than part 1 of JoJo, but it's kind of like that. But then it gets like tremendously better, because there's actually more to Kenshiro's background after that first arc, where he defeats the first villain. And this first villain, it's because the first arc is very isolated, much like the Black Swordsman arc in Berserk. It kind of takes place on its own. But after it gets into the next arc, then it goes into like a more overarching arcs. And we find out more about Kenshiro's backstory. And we find out that even though he is the sole successor of the fist that he learned, I can't think of its name, the martial arts that he learned. I actually don't like part 1, so maybe I just don't like that kind of anime manga. Well, let me explain. After that first arc, he defeats that villain who had stolen his love from him, right? And like Kenshiro's like, I can never love anyone again. And he's like, he's very heroic, but he's a broken man, and he defeats this villain, so he gets his justice, right? And then into the next arc, we find out that he wasn't the only apprentice for the he wasn't the only candidate for that fist, for that martial arts that he learned. Only one person can learn it, but there were 4 in total, so he had 3 brothers. Yeah, I got that far. There was that other guy. Yeah, and this is where things get like more interesting, like where I get like really invested. And I just like the fighting and action. Like, it's not as outlandish as like you think it might be. There's a little bit, and like it's cool when the characters actually get auras. At some point they get auras, and there's something about it is just like it like feels so right. That's fine. You can like your thing. Yeah, I know. But I'm just explaining it to you. Okay. I'm just because am I convinced? You might change your mind. Maybe not. I'm reading the manga, by the way. I didn't watch anime. I'm reading the manga, and sometimes you might watch an anime and it just might not hit, and then you read the manga and it does hit. Which, like, I think part one of JoJo the manga is better than the anime, because whereas anime in the past, you haven't realized how much I just shut down if I'm not interested in something yet. Eventually, you'll get it. Like, yeah, that's fine. I mean, I can still talk to you about it. Like part one of JoJo, right? In my opinion, the anime adapted it too quickly. Like 9 episodes wasn't enough. They needed to do like 12 episodes. Because like especially the beginning is so rushed. It doesn't give you any breathing room. It's like bam, bam, bam. That's part of why I hated part one, because it's like it's almost constant dialogue and exposition from beginning to end, and they never just let scenes breathe. But in the manga, it actually gets to breathe, and it's a much more enjoyable experience. That's just how like adaptations can have an impact. I even watched Totally Not Marks, and he watched the anime, and he couldn't get into the anime, but he liked the manga much better. Only one. I don't read manga. Only one I've read is JoJo's. They have a shorter hour and half long cuts. That's better of all of part one. They have a shorter hour. But I almost never see it. I don't read manga, but only one I've read is JoJo's. So, like, have you read all of JoJo's or just the parts you like of JoJo's?
Perfect landing.
Except for one, because I don't like one. BRB. I don't know why I skipped a drawing down here when there's like 2 panels I could have drawn above, but I didn't. I just didn't do that. Oh shoot. Okay, here we go. Here we go.
Yo, what's going on? This is Marty, and you're listening to Marty for President Radio. I hope you're enjoying yourself. Stay locked in. We're going to have more exclusives and fun stuff coming up very shortly. And I just want to congratulate you on being so amazing. You're an awesome person. Congratulations.
I'm back. I'm back too. So Perry, with your manga, do you already have the whole story written out? But which part has the best theme? Okay, that's a lot. Um, I do not have it all written out, but I do know more or less, very specifically, where I want to take it and the arcs I have planned. The only thing that might change along the way is maybe some of the order of the arcs. I know for the most part the order I want the arcs to take place. Like, I swear, I have like a 10-year plan for where I want to take this story. I know where it's going to end up. And I have begun writing down like things that I think of, bits of dialogue, because I know it's going to be a while for me to get to those things. So I just write them down now so I can look them up later. Because if I never write anything down, I will forget it, and I don't want to regret it or kick myself when I remember after the fact that it's already done. Because that already happened some when I made Volume 1. I made Volume 1 and there was something that I would have liked to put in that I forgot. So when I re-lettered it, I actually just added 10 extra pages and I added that thing. But I don't want to do that again. Like, I want to get it right the first time. So I'm going to write things down from now on when I think of them. Blair likes Prince. Well, my favorite is Part 4. Of course, yeah, that makes sense. Prince, because Josuke's like Prince. Oh, BRB. Now Blair is going. He's going somewhere. I hope you heard my answer, Blair. I definitely prefer Part 8 to Part 4, but also because Araki made Part 4 most interesting for my particular taste. I like Part 4 is my favorite, and I don't know if it has to do with like my taste or whatever, but I just think that it's the result of honing his skills in like parts 1 through 3. Like, he really nails down things, so it's like Part 4 just comes out as a masterpiece. Like, in my opinion, I really think Part 4 is like a masterpiece. You know, there's a lot of magic in Part 3, right? But then Part 4 is where he just like pulls it all together, you know. Part 5, I like Part 5, but like, I don't think Giorno is a good protagonist. Part 8 is like Part 4 better. Oh, okay. So Part 8 is be your favorite, and Part 4 is the runner-up. Part 5, like, Giorno, he takes too much of a back seat as a protagonist, in my opinion. He, like, comes to the forefront in the beginning, and then he's just, like, in the background until the very end. And it's like, you kind of care about him the least. Bucciarati becomes more of a main character than he does. That's because he's not the protagonist. Alright, is it Bucciarati then? Is he... In the same way Josuke is the protagonist of Part 4. But Josuke is the protagonist. He is the JoJo of this part that we follow. It is Bucciarati. Really? He's like the secret protagonist. No, Koichi is a protagonist. he's the JoJo, but not the protagonist. Well, here's the thing, though, because in part 4, like, the story will follow other characters, and that makes them the protagonist of their story, right? But that doesn't make them the protagonist of the entire series. So, like, when Koichi's just protagonist the whole part, but that's, see, that I disagree with. There's several essays on this. Well, some video. I like the video essays, even if I disagree with them. I'll listen to them. I can send them. I'll send them my way. That's like, but that reminds me of like when people say like Kakashi is the protagonist of Naruto. Even though, like, obviously, like, he's not the protagonist, but when people call him the secret protagonist, I get it though. I get it because a lot of Kakashi's story is told throughout Naruto. I don't know if you've heard of that, Mega Bro, but it makes me think of that. Oh my gosh, that's super thick. Super thick. Be fixed. I mean, Koichi is the main protagonist, that's why it's from his perspective. It's about how the JoJo's changed his life and made him better. He literally goes through the series a lot more than other characters. It would be like how at the beginning of Z and the Boost saga, Toriyama really wanted Gohan to be protagonist. He basically was for the first half. Yeah, he was. And arguably till the middle, but Goku was still there, so people were drawn to him, and then he shifted protagonist. Yeah, and that's it's sort of like that. That's a little bit different because it does change protagonists, because Gohan was protagonist until at some point it shifted to Goku. But you know, the part 4 does start with Koichi. It does start with following him, right? I do understand that, although that could also just be a storytelling method used to introduce Josuke, this bigger character. But the JoJo, like, I think is what it is just like with Kakashi and Naruto, people like to say he's protagonist because of his growth as a character. Since, like, Josuke doesn't really have to grow, he's, like, already self-made, but Koichi grows. Then why is Koichi the one they used to introduce Shorno in part 5 as a representative part 4? He's the actual protag. Well, it's like, why did they use Jotaro in part 4? Why did they use Joseph in part 3? It's because it was to relate it to the previous part. Even though each part you can go in by itself for the longtime fans, it was to carry over some continuity. That's my take. And use a familiar character to introduce a new unfamiliar character. Because he's the protagonist of 3 and he's the protagonist of 2, they use the protagonist to introduce the next part. That is very compelling. Alright. And I don't know if you remember, I haven't read that book yet. About analyzing JoJo. Oh, and I just finished part 4, by the way. I just finished reading part 4. Great. I'm about to start reading part 5. And I'm gonna, and it's like literal, it's gonna be essays on JoJo, so I'm gonna read that. I bet this guy will probably say that when I read the book. So I guess the real question is, do you think Araki would consider Koichi the protagonist of part 4? Part 5 is mid in the manga, I'm gonna warn you now. Mid? Really? So do they make up with it in the animation for the anime? Think again. The anime saved part 5. Oh wow. Well, I guess I'm gonna find out. Just like with Demon Slayer, people said like, oh, Demon Slayer was saved by the animation, so I'm gonna find out when I read Demon Slayer. It was widespread, the worst part in the JoJo's fandoms before the anime came out. Oh dang, that's sad. I'm about to read it, I promise. I just want to get this face out the way because I know it's going to be a pain. I'm having to draw very small with this pen. Get these part of his shorts out the way. I think it's because it's a Japanese take on the Italian experience or something. Worldwide, Part 5 was the least liked, but in core Japan, the manga Part 5 was actually very loved, and that's kind of weird. Well, that's not too uncommon for audiences in different countries to like something more than another nationality. Like, One Piece is the most popular anime in Japan, but in the Western world, or the rest of the world, probably Dragon Ball is more popular than One Piece. Even though One Piece is still very popular, I would say Dragon Ball probably takes the cake. And you could, amount that because, Dragon Ball got more TV time and all that. But another example, Demon Slayer. Now this was very popular in Japan, but it also became very popular overseas. And it's weird because Demon Slayer was very Japanese. And some properties, some anime are so Japanese, they're a bit too Japanese for other audiences that are not Japanese. And that might be the case with that as well. Like Sailor Moon did well in Japan. It didn't do so hot over here. Now, it did get a cult following. It has a fan base, but it just didn't get near the popularity that it did in Japan. I can't think of any other examples, but there probably are. What? Yeah, that's right. You heard me. But it's the truth, Blair. It's the truth. Oh my gosh, cat just jumped on my bed. Sailor Moon is so popular. I'm not saying like it was a flagship that popularized anime in the US. I'm talking about at the time it aired. Like sales wise, it didn't do good. That Dragon Ball and Gundam. But it did probably pave the way for more anime in Japan. Wait, than Dragon Ball and Gundam? I don't know about that, but that's what you meant. It wasn't on the same tier as DBZ and One Piece on initial release, I think is what he meant. Yeah, like now, like Sailor Moon is celebrated and probably more popular than it ever was in the 90s, 80s or 90s at the time it came to Western audiences.
What's up, guys? This is Marty from President Radio, and I don't know.
Yeah, that's exactly what
do you want me to say?
Well, we have paid our debt to you, Claire. If you insist, there's always worth a shake on it. But can I ask a few questions? Oh, surely.
I'm just losing my mind, that's all.
Oh, well, I guess. It's very popular now, though. Yes, it is, Blair. It is popular now. is very popular. Absolutely, it's probably never been more popular except just before they released that crystallized reboot or whatever. I think that failed Western adaptation. That's what you're talking about, right? I swear I thought I just saw the chat move. But my eyes must be playing tricks on me. I see a problem here I need to fix. Quick, Perry. Make a stand right now. Oh! I'm not as fast as a Rocky. I'll have to draw in the air. That would be interesting. That'd be fun to try and come up with an original stand. I'd probably make like a stand version of one of my existing characters. That'd probably be the easiest way. That's not a music reference. Unless your characters are actually musical references. Yeah, I mean, if I did, I wouldn't use a music reference. Unless you were saying you would want me to use a music reference. I would probably just use one of my other characters to make a stand as what I references. Yeah, I would like to take a character and modify them to look like a stand. Not one of the human looking characters like here, but when they transform rather, but or make the villain into a stand. Could be fun. When I say make a stand, I don't mean the drawing. I mean like literally everything else. Name power is how it works. Blah blah blah. Oh yeah, that's a lot harder. If I were to draw one though, that might help me come up and think of things though, like that. But I can try to think of some stuff. I could make a stand called Great Reptile. He's a strong stand with like a 2-meter range. I need to come up with a special ability. That would be a bit harder. Great Reptile is not a song or band. So okay, so you do want it to be a music reference. Okay. That's a lot harder now. Does it have to be something Rocky would like? Oh my gosh. This pen. Nah, Rocky does things that not everyone likes. Really? I mean, well, I thought some of the music he likes was pretty popular. Like popular Western music, you know. But then he did have that song about being popular. Oh yeah, you never answered. Do you think Araki would consider Koichi the protagonist of Part 4? Like, or if you know that he said in like an interview or something like that's canon. Like, you can argue, I don't know. Okay. In your opinion, do you think like if he was asked that, he would say yes, Koichi is? What do you think? Do you think he intentionally did it that way? Like, you can argue Notorious Big is not something his fan base would probably listen to. Yeah, I mean, but I also feel like if, like, he did put it in JoJo that his fan base might end up listening to it as a result. Of course, I haven't listened to any of the music honestly on my own that he's put in the parts, but I could see a hardcore JoJo fan listening to all the music that he likes though. Not that they do that or that happens. Oh, that's more here. I'm sure they do. Yeah. I gotta get just need to carve this out. I need to get really close here. I gotta. Trying to draw small with this new pen. Well, before that. Go. Okay, I'm back at a long call. Welcome back. I'm going to make art for a Japanese theme art show. I'm already working on a Spirited Away piece. I want to do Dragon Ball and Sailor Moon piece, but I don't know if I want to do them separate or together in one piece. Thank you, at Megabro. Together sounds like a great idea, honestly. That may get you more sales. That might prove to be more popular. Or it's not. You're not selling it, but people might like that more. They might respond to that more. A crossover event. Yeah, that's going to be for sale. Oh yeah, heck yeah, you should do it. You should do it that one. I'm just gonna not 2. That's 5. Or super buff and glowing Sailor Moon with the orange key. You should just You should just do a piece of like Goku going down on like Sailor Moon. That will be really popular. Just have Goku hit it from the back. This kind of not my style. Oh, well, it's been done before. Lewd. Yeah, you need to go for the lewd, Blair, because all the other spots have been taken. That hasn't been done. Oh no, I'm not doing the hentai. No, it doesn't have to be hentai. Where you just need to do one where he's just like Goku just like smacks her on the ass, like saying like, "Oh yeah, you're my baby," and then Chi-Chi can be in the background looking like very upset. These are very wonderful ideas. You should be happy I'm not charging you. Okay, I'm gonna carve this out. Make it look like it's Sailor Moon from the bottom, but as you move up, it turns into Dio, and he's like, "You thought this was Sailor Moon art, but really." Oh yeah, that makes me think you should do a piece where like, Sailor Moon is about to kiss Tuxedo Man, but it's actually Dio. He steals Tuxedo Man's kiss from him and kisses Sailor Moon, and he could be like, "You thought it was Tuxedo Man, but it was me, Dio." Oh, Pip, what are you doing? See my cat over here? Meow, meow. You hear that? Meow again. Meow. Okay, she's not doing it now. I'm just going to make it MVC inspired, lol. MVC? Yeah, sure, I know. Oh, yeah. Okay, before I end the stream, I'm going to do freehand these speed lines. Okay, this is where things get a little more tricky. I forgot to use white out there. Oh, it's okay, I'll do that next. I'm just going to go over the sound effects because... Oh, damn it. Yeah, but that's Dragon Ball V Sailor Moon. That's a blowout. Marvel vs. Capcom. Oh, okay. Wow. The iconic image where they are facing each other and stagger across space. I don't know this iconic image. I don't either. Oh, the MVC1 cover. Could have just said that. I'll send it to y'all on Discord. Oh, okay. Alright, I'm pretty satisfied with how this page is turning out. For the most part. Pretty good, pretty good. Meow. Do it again. Meow. Oh, it's not really picking you up. Oh, what are you doing? If Requiem could reset to 0, why didn't he use it as a res? What do you mean, res? Oh, yes, I love you so much. You'll set my soul on fire. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Res, revive, resurrection. To be honest, I don't know if you're asking me that or Blair or both of us, but I think I would need to rewatch, or in this case, read part 5, because I really don't remember all the context. What do you mean, like, to revive Polnareff? Like, or like Bucciarati? Like, is that what you mean? Anyone he liked who died. Well, it seemed like after Polnareff's stand took over and it left him. Alright, the script demands it. I liked part 5 all the way until the end when they had to go and explain how the 3 died. Well, Requiem, as soon as he stopped being Polnareff's stand, he wasn't on anyone's side. It was the heroes and villains fighting against that stand because he had the whatever the thing was that he had, the arrow or whatever. I meant gold experience, not chariot. Oh, you mean Giorno's stand? To be honest, I don't. When Giorno got that insane power up at the end, they kind of, I don't know, it was kind of ridiculous. Like, it was a bit much. It didn't feel very earned and kind of like came out of nowhere. But more importantly, I didn't really understand it. He like punched apart the universe or something. I don't know. It just didn't make any sense. It was cool how he put the villain in an endless loop, but it's like I don't really understand what the capabilities of Gold Experience was. Maybe when I read it, I'll have a better grasp. From my understanding, it reversed Diavolo's power on himself. He's making him experience death and rebirth over and over again. Araki retconned at some point. Did he retcon or did he forget? Araki forgot. Am I right? Or am I right? Both probably. Yeah, I'd have to say, like, Diavolo's power.
The whole world stops just like that.
Death and rebirth. So, I don't know. I can't really adequately respond because, like, when you brought that up, it didn't even occur to me that maybe he could have brought someone back. Like, I didn't think that his power worked like that. But it's a exhalation of GE. How he makes you experience like things after punching you. The next step is just giving the man physical experiences, but he can also reset life back to 0, so that gets rid of the guy who can scrub through time. Extension. Oh, so are you saying he could have went back in time and like made it like punch Diavolo out of existence before he gave everyone problems? So like no one would have had to die? He could have reset their deaths to 0. If that's how his power worked, but could he reset them to 0, or would he have to put them in a loop, though? Is that the condition? He could have reset their deaths to 0, but then... The loop is a punishment. Yeah, but is it an option? It's not something he needs to do. Okay, so it's optional. Is it a thing where if they already died, is it too late? Like a Shining Diamond? Can't heal people that are already dead, right? You can heal them, but you can't bring them back to life. Seemingly not. So even if they're dead, it shouldn't matter. I don't know. This is just something I'll have to get back with you on because I don't really remember when I get to that part. I'll have to like read it or watch it again. I guess I could just rewatch the last few episodes of part 5. And then I could come back and give you my opinion or not, if I think it's a plot hole or not. The manga does a worse job at explaining GER than the anime. When I read part 4, I really do like how they depict Araki depicts Deadly Queen's third bomb when it shows them like he's in their eye. Like, I thought that was cool. I don't remember how the anime did it, if they did it the same way or not, but I thought it was cool in the manga. Because they're like, you see it from their POV and they're looking at him and he's like superimposed, and then you see him from the backside and he's in their eye. The same way. Yeah, I totally forgot about that. How like bites the dust work. I remember like my memory refreshed. I remember like the kid reliving the morning. Honestly, I swear, you just saw it when we played JoJo's. I was Kira. Yeah, but that was really fast, and like now that I've refreshed my memory, if I see it again, it'll make more sense to me. Like in JoJo's, it was slower pace, and when I read the manga, like I swear the manga battles are like more exciting than the anime. It's like I'm on the edge of my seat. Now, like they are exciting in the anime too. I just think they're more exciting in the manga format. Yeah, but that was fast. Oh. Yeah, it was fast. Like I just missed out on the reference. That's all it was. Because when you know the reference, it's like, oh, you can recall it, right? I think you just have trouble understanding fast things. I don't think that was it, because there are other references I saw that were fast, but I understood. Because I recalled them better. But anyway, I'm going to take an in progress photo of this before I end the stream. Post it on my Instagram. I think you just... Oh, I know. Yes, alright. Okay, well, it's not one to readjust. You can follow my Instagram. I have to go to the Twitch thing. Oh my gosh. I can't type. You can follow my Instagram here if you so wish. And you can see this posted in a few days, because actually I haven't. There's a couple pages that still haven't posted yet, so. It's not get in the way. And normally I would review. I mean, I guess I could review real quick. Let us review before I end, as is the tradition around these parts. Review what? My pages. Page 1. Page 2. Oh, yeah. Page 3. Yeah, I know it's ESAM. ESAM's on this page. Page 4. Page 5. Page 6. It's mostly right. Page 7. A splash. Page 8. ESAM is the best thing about that page. Yeah, he sure is. He's also on this page too. Page 9. Ultimate Smash player over here. Hey. Page 11. Look at him go. Yeah. Page 12. Sorry, ad calls. That's okay, Blair. Page 10. Did I skip? Oh, never mind. Some of these were in bad order. Let me backtrack. Page 9. Page 10. page 11, page 12, page 13, and finally page 14, which is not finished. I'll finish it the next time I stream. Your thing better have the Captain Underpants thing where you move the pages fast and they make it move. A flip book. I'll consider that. Maybe I'll save it for book 3. A little animation in the corner. It's called the Flip-O-Rama. Yeah. Well, that's today's stream. I'm gonna end. It's the reason I bought the books. That's great. That's great. I do have work tonight, so I actually need to go to bed. I cannot afford to stay up any longer. And maybe I probably won't stream before work. I probably won't have time for that. I probably won't get up in time for that. But I might stream when I get back from off of work. And it will be my Friday. I'll be able to stay up longer, although I don't know that I want to, because that's a very terrible idea. To stay up longer than I need to. So, it's been good. This has been Perry's Hotter. Good night. Your friendly neighborhood. Mangaka in the making.